Speaking of heroes, we got him, Milt Stegall from the CFL on TSN, Canadian Football Hall of Famer. You can throw your headphones on there, Jim, if you want. Sitting here listening to the CFL discussion, you recognize Hall of Famer Jim Hopson with us, Milt. How are things? Are you in Atlanta right now? How are things down there?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm actually sitting in my car. I was trying to get on my computer, but there were some difficulties. So it's hot in Atlanta, really hot. It's over 100 degrees.
Oof.
So I'm sitting in my car in the air condition.
Well, I bet you're going to be happy to get back up to Canada this weekend for Week 10. But, Milt, I want to look back to Week 9 for a second. I'm blown away. The Bombers beat Calgary 26-24 last week, and the people in Winnipeg are mad. And I don't understand why. They're mad at Matt Nichols. They were mad at the outcome of the game. What's going on in Winnipeg?
Well, I mean, the people are concerned. I mean, they're happy with their record, but I think they're concerned that they know they can't win a championship with that style of play. You need your quarterback to make some plays and not just dink and dunk to Andrew Harris. You need your quarterback to go out there and be able to throw the ball down the field. And I know his receivers may not be top-notch like some other teams, but when you're a good quarterback, regardless who your receivers are, you're able to make some plays. And they haven't seen that out of Matt Nichols. Of course, I know they know every team in the league would love to do it, but they know in the championship, your back has to be able to play, and they just haven't got enough out of Matt Nichols yet.
So that's how the Bomber fans feel. I assume you include yourself as a Bomber fan. Do you agree with them being upset and that they will not win a championship winning a game on special teams?
Oh, after the season, and I'm a former player, you don't think of that far in the road. The net in hand, and right now, great position. They're in 6-2, first place, best record in the CFL. So you're not thinking about the great, like what you're doing right now, winning with that. So you're doing that. So you're not even thinking that far down the road. The coaches aren't, the players aren't, the people in that organization. They're just winning this next game against the BC Lions tomorrow. So that's so far down the road. You're not concerned with that.
I totally agree with that. Do you guys got something for Milt?
Just with BC coming into town tomorrow, what have you seen out of the Lions that might be encouraging to their fans as it possibly looks like they're getting closer to turning a bit of a corner? Did you see that at all, Milt?
Well, they finally put Mike Riley to a certain. I mean, they gave up sacks this past game against Ham. A couple of them because of mishaps, snaps, but they opened up some holes for John White. So you saw some positive effect from that offense. They were expecting here. We knew defense struggled some because that offense invested so much money, not only in Mike Riley, but that offensive line also. So Ed Hervey went out, made a trade for the guy from Calgary. So we saw some promise there. But they're still in a crazy position. The fact that they lost that game in that fashion, and I was on the sideline, and you can see those players, they were just upbeat. When they had that lead, they knew they had a great chance to win that game, and then they just were so deflated after the way they lost. So it's going to be hard to come back for that one. They'll have a possibility of making the championship. I mean, they may need Birmingham or San Antonio to help them out, but there's still a chance that they can make the playoffs. So let's just see what happens for this last half of the season.
Milt, we got quite a race going on here in the West. Three-way tie at 5-3. And the Bombers ahead at 6-2. But who's the best team in the East right now? I can't answer that question. Can you?
I mean, it's the Tigers. And people were concerned when Jeremiah went down. You put Dane Evans in there, a guy who really hadn't played much. They surround him with so much talent. They've been able to do a great job. Mark Washington, who the players love over there, is doing a great job with that defense. Tommy Condell. Who's also a guy the players love. And then you have Speedy Banks, who in my opinion is the best playmaker in this league. And when you put Dane Evans back there, he doesn't have to do much. He just has to not lose the game for these guys. So in my opinion, they're still the best. What happens when Burns steps back in the field and William back, those are the two most players on that offense for Montreal. If those two guys can get back up to speed, it will be a two-team race in the East to see who can win it. And after that, I see a team West crossing over because I just don't see Ottawa and Toronto doing enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's getting it's a little late for those teams for sure. Milt, the video was a little choppy, but we got the best of it. Enjoy the rest of the time in Atlanta today, and we'll be watching you on TV here in Week 10.
Before I leave, I just want to say congratulations to Pedersen. He's done not only so much for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but so much for this league, and I definitely appreciate everything he's done. And congratulations.
Thank you. And Milt, you're still the best-looking guy on the panel.
And I knew you were going to say that. That's why I wanted to say congratulations. You're very smart, very smart.
Don't go anywhere, Milt. Then, since you can hear us, I do have one question for you. What are you most proud of on your body? Your abs or your face?
I would have to say my abs, because everyone can see face. My wife is only privy to see these abs, to see them for free. So that's the most thing on my body is my abs. And I'm gonna have
Thank you.
In my kid, I'm gonna have shirt off, my cover, but my shoe off so you can see my abs.
Thank you, Milt. Have a good day.
Thanks, Milt.
All right, you guys
Be
take
well.
care.
Boy,
Wait, there's the thing. Abu Meshrik always calls him the Turtle Man.
Yes.
And when I'm like, he's not slow. Why do you call him the Turtle Man? He goes, it's because his abs look like a turtle shell.
he'll really be something when he gets over his shyness.
Yeah, no kidding. Hoppy, I know you got to run. Any last comments?
No, pleasure to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to visit with you and the fans. And I just can't say enough about how we were treated in Hamilton by the fans, and I'm excited about Neil going in next week. I actually got to go shoot a little video now for the Plaza next week, and we're excited about that. And I guess we'll have to ask Neil if he's been inducted into any more halls since
2 in the last week. Yeah. All right,
He's
Jim.
rolling, but
Thanks.
congrats.
for old Tom guy.
Yeah, Tom Trojans.
Yeah,
all
Tom,
day.
There you go.
In honor of 52, Jim Hobson, show number 52, wears his jersey. Thanks for the support, Jim.
Thank you.
Next hour, Neil Hughes in the bunker and a whole lot more with the Duke and Darren DuPont. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Facebook Live. Listen live at rodpedersen.com and catch the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Play. He can do it. He can do it.
He's allowed.
We'll be back with hour 2 right after this.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.